Welcome everyone to our quarterly Outlook video. My name is Kevin DeHaad, President with CWB McLean & Partners, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Matt Evans, the President and CEO of CWB Wealth Management. And Matt and I work very closely on all things wealth management here at CWB, so welcome, Matt.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming down to Calgary. Now, I think my first question today is going to be relating to our client survey that we did last fall, and we had very good participation from our clients. And I thought we would start with what were some of the high-level findings? What did we learn from this survey of the McLean & Partners clients, Matt?
Sure. Yeah, Kevin, thank you again for having me today. It's great to be here. It's always a privilege to share the stage with you and connect to clients. The survey that we did is one of the ways that we try to stay connected to clients throughout the year, along with other things that we do through the course of time. And it's something that you and I believe in very strongly, really hearing directly from clients on how they think we're doing, how we could be, other things we could be doing to enrich their client experience and just get that feedback. And so I want to thank all of our clients who did respond to the survey, who took that time. We're very grateful for the time that you spent on that, and again, very appreciative of the better understanding we now have of our firm and where our clients are. The results, I would say, Kevin, were very encouraging. I would say that what we saw confirmed was that your clients continue to value all of the things that they have traditionally valued with McLean & Partners over the years. And that's encouraging as we continue to work with one another within the CWB environment. And what are those things that clients value? It's that deeply personal relationship. It is that very high touch client experience delivered by an experienced team of expert professionals. So that very warm sense of family, right, that they get from dealing with the firm, alongside very strong investment performance. And it was confirmed to us through the data that is an experience that really is different than other offerings in the private wealth market in Canada. And what we also confirmed was that difference is all about the people. Right. So it really is all about you, Kevin, your team, the teams that support you as you show up for your clients to deliver clear insights and help them simplify their complicated lives. Right.
And it was interesting because we also checked within the survey about kind of our clients' awareness of CWB as a brand and whether they actually dealt with CWB, and there was probably higher familiarity than we thought.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for us with this survey to sort of check back with clients and gather both some data related to familiarity with CWB and also sentiment related to the affiliation with CWB Wealth Management and with CWB more generally. And again, the results there were encouraging and the findings were important for us to consider going forward. So what we found was about 97% of your clients, pretty close to 100% of folks are aware of CWB. A lower percentage of folks are familiar. So about half of your client base would say they're familiar with CWB, which is hitting that higher level of awareness. And about half of your clients also say that they have a positive impression of CWB. So it's about the same proportion of folks who say they're familiar say they have a positive impression. And so, what does that tell us? I mean, I think we ask ourselves what that all means. We know that about half of your clients, Kevin, would say they're not familiar with CWB. Right. And it's, out of a lack of familiarity that sometimes you wonder what the intentions of the parent organization might be and so on. Right. So we can speak to that. Taking a step back, what the data tells us is that CWB really is different than the big banks in Canada, right? I think most Canadians are familiar with one or another of the big banks. Right. And most of us who are familiar with one or another of the big banks wouldn't say that our impression of those banks is very positive. We have good experiences, we have mixed experiences. The large banks in Canada are respected for their breadth and for their stability, but they're not loved for their service. Right. So CWB, on the other hand, is loved for its service. I mean, it is loved by folks who don't normally love banks. Right. And so that's what we know. Once you know the bank a little better, you like the bank a little better. So reaching that higher level of familiarity really helps clients feel comfortable with the affiliation and feel confident that this is a positive relationship.
Okay, let's move along then to talking a little bit about our relationship and our history. So it's actually 9 years ago this month, April 2013, that CWB first made an investment in McLean Partners. And back then, the whole CWB group was $2 billion. Fast forward to today, through some acquisitions that you've been involved with, the whole group now is $9 billion. And so I thought it'd be good to hear, what do you see, Matt, as the vision for the overall CWB Wealth Management Group? And then how does CWB McLean Partners fit into that vision?
Sure. Yeah, it's an exciting time for us, Kevin. Obviously 9 years. Next year, we're looking forward to celebrating 10, a clean decade. So, we've continued to make a ton of progress over that decade, working more closely together. You and I are working very closely together, as you said, over the past 2 years. So I think as you go back to that point in time 9 years ago, it's useful to actually go back 30 years before that, right? So let's think about where CWB came from as an organization, why it was founded, when it was founded, how it was founded, who it was founded by. Mm-hmm. So that'll give us a better sense of sort of why and when McLean Partners came into the picture and sort of how we got to where we are today. So 40 years ago, mid-'80s, roughly speaking, a group of Western entrepreneurs based here in Alberta recognized there was an opportunity to create a new bank to meet the financial needs of entrepreneurs in this province who were being underserved by the large banks based in Toronto. Right. And as you recall, you can recall the economic environment in Alberta in the mid-'80s and why that was the case. And these local entrepreneurs really zeroed in on that gap in the market. Mm-hmm. And so they decided to focus this bank on certain specialized high-value capabilities, not trying to be all things to all people, and most importantly, creating a client experience that just wasn't available in the market. That's a more personal client experience, more relationship focused, right, and authentically centered around the unique needs of each client and not requiring clients to fit into a box, which is more of the big bank model. Right. Yeah. So those founders built a very successful bank over the subsequent 20, 30 years. And then as we get into the late 2000s, coming into the teens, the founders of the bank and the builders of the bank, including Larry Pollock by that time, really recognized that high-end wealth capabilities were a really important addition to the full-service experience for the bank's clients. Many entrepreneurs and business owners at that time were selling their businesses, as you recall, sort of 2005, 6, 7, lots of transactions in Alberta at the time, and a lot of wealth creation. Yeah. So it was during that period and into the teens where it became very sensible for the bank to grow in the high net worth wealth management space. McLean Partners was a great way to do that circa 2013. Right. The similarities that I see, having heard your story you shared with me over the years, Kevin, is you and Brett McLean and Russ and Erica recognized the same opportunity to break away from the big bank formula in the wealth management space and create something new, right, create something that would feel special to clients and feel more personal, right, feel more relationship driven, and feel more customized. Right. And so that alignment of culture and strategy is really why it made sense for these organizations to combine, going back 10 years. So, really, we feel today that the best days for our clients, for the firm, are ahead of us. Yeah. The best way to talk about the role for CWB McLean Partners in the national private wealth platform is as sort of a boutique within the boutique. Right. Right? It's this boutique specialized client experience with flexible capabilities for wealthy families, sits within a national private wealth boutique that sits within this highly entrepreneurial Canadian bank. Right. And so the focus is really just to grow and enrich our capabilities, create more value for clients. Yeah. So it's about making sure we have the right talent, making sure we've got great technology, and just making sure that we are always, what I spend a lot of my time thinking about is making sure that I'm removing obstacles for advisors as they show up to deliver for our clients. Yeah,
good, excellent. No, I know reflecting back in around 2012, 2013, there was a number of parties that were interested in investing in our company, and one of the reasons we went with CWB was the cultural alignment with regard to our people and how we work with our clients, and we've just built on that since then, so that's fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about, as we work closer together, and as McLean and Partners gets more aligned and integrated within CWB, what do you see? I see benefits for our clients, and I've already seen benefits for our clients, but what do you see as the main benefits for our clients as we work together closer and closer going forward?
Well, Kevin, I think that the opportunities to bring more value to our clients as we grow the firm have really become apparent over the last couple of years. We grew the firm through an acquisition in 2020, and really the reason that we did that was sort of twofold. One was to match our wealth management footprint to the growing footprint of CWB Financial Group. When Chris Fowler came in as CEO of CWB in 2013, which is right around the time that the transaction occurred with McLean and Partners, his strategy over this last decade or so has really been to grow CWB into a national player, right? Expand our capabilities, bring those sort of focused capabilities for entrepreneurs to markets across Canada. And so the acquisition that we made in wealth management in 2020 was really to match the footprint, to bring in a presence in Ontario, to grow our presence in BC, scale up a little bit in Alberta. And we did that through the acquisition of a couple of firms called TE Wealth and Leon Fraser. And what that created for us was an opportunity really to pool resources and deliver the best of the capabilities of those legacy firms to all of our clients. So for McLean and Partners, that has become relevant in respect to our proprietary investment management that we focus on with our team, also third-party manager research, financial planning, and insurance. So if I go back to proprietary investment management, first thing we did a couple of years ago was realign our investment research talent under a new chief investment officer, Scott Blair. That was really done to make sure that we've got clear and solid coverage of all the asset classes that we want to cover internally, and to make sure that our talent working in that team have great career paths. Results have been great. The team has been stable. Performance has been very strong, and it's been just a really good outcome from that change. TE Wealth was known as a firm that offers third-party investment management and really strong, sophisticated financial planning. So those third-party research capabilities have become relevant for McLean and Partners clients as we've introduced some third-party managers within the alternative investment space into some of the funds that you operate internally here at McLean and Partners. So that's a benefit of the acquisition. On the financial planning side, one of the key talents in TE Wealth here in Calgary, we integrated that individual, Trevor, into your team to really deepen the financial planning experience available to your clients. And that, I think, has been a very positive addition to the team. And then we also continue, as I said, to bring the insurance capabilities forward to your clients, which allows us to do legacy planning and asset protection for wealthy families. Lastly, I would say, so what does that all mean looking forward? So what would we look at on a go-forward basis in terms of leveraging our larger size? Really, the key thing that we're thinking about there is technology. So we have the ability to use our larger size to make more meaningful investments in core technology that should improve the client and the advisor experience that we'd be unable to do within any of the legacy firms on a standalone basis because of their smaller size. So those are just some of the kind of advantages of size that we're trying to take advantage of without sacrificing the things that have always made McLean and Partners special, without diluting that very high touch, that personal client experience. So it's about enriching the experience at the margin without sacrificing the things that make it special.
Super. Yeah, and that was a good long list of benefits. Thanks, Matt. And I would say, as someone that works on the front lines with clients, probably two of the biggest benefits I've seen for our clients is everything you described with regards to the research team. Just, much better bench strength and broader asset class coverage, and it actually allows us to launch even new vehicles. Right, we're going to be launching a small mid-cap fund this fall. And then secondly, the financial planning expertise that TE brings to the table, and a large number of our clients have benefited from that financial planning expertise the last year and a half. So that's excellent. Thank you. So we could be here all day, but I think I'll wrap it up with maybe one last question. You started in January 2020 in this new role, and then there was an acquisition that happened right away, and then we kind of went into what I call the COVID time warp.
Yep.
Where so now we're coming out of the time warp, and we're back in the office and getting back to some normal life. But I'm just interested. There's been a lot coming at you, and what would you say are some of your biggest learnings, and what are you excited about as we embark on the future?
Well, yeah, Kevin, I mean, these last 2 years have been pretty extraordinary. I think we'd all attest to that. And came into it ready for a new role, ready for new challenges, and the nature of the challenges have probably been not exactly what I expected or any of us expected vis-a-vis COVID. But you know, I think what I've learned through that experience is something that is reinforced to me in this role every day, and that is something, you know, I'll go straight to our core values as an organization. One of them being relationships get results.
Right.
And that is, you know, the reality that we face every single day in the work that we're doing to create a better firm for our clients, better platform for our clients with boutique within the boutique, with a national footprint, and really strong capabilities across the board. That means some building, that means some transforming, that means some changing, and what a single person can accomplish by themselves is pretty limited,
Yep.
no matter who you are,
Exactly.
right? It really takes a team, and it takes a team that trusts one another, that have strong relationships, and that are really willing to stand behind each other and build together. And so, you know, that is something that has become very apparent to me, and I'm reminded of it every day. We have done, I think, a great job through COVID, notwithstanding the challenges of being constrained on how we can travel and
Right.
and be with each other face to face. The best work in this industry happens face to face. That is
Right.
something we believe very strongly, and that's the thing I'm looking forward to as we
Yeah.
get back to more normal ways of working and living, is the ability to do more face to face,
Right.
to do more work on building relationships with you and with other members of our team, face to face and in person,
Right.
and just continue to strengthen those bonds, continue to strengthen those relationships, and really drive really great results for our clients.
Thank you very much for joining us for this quarter's Outlook video. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Matt Evans, President and CEO of CDB Wealth Management. And I also wanted to remind all of you that attached to this quarterly Outlook video is our quarterly written commentary, written internally by our research team. So please give that a read. And I want to thank all of you for your trust and support. And I look forward to seeing you next quarter.